بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we are able to start our series on Bidayat al-Hikmah, which means the beginning of philosophy. This book is a textbook used in Hawzahs in everywhere, and it was initially written by Allamah Tabataba'i when Ayatollah Qudusi Rahmatullah alayh requested him to prepare a textbook to be taught in Madrasa Haqqani or Muntaziriyah. You know, there was a Hawzah in Qom, perhaps the second Hawzah in Qom, which started with new programs and with a structured study, and it was run by Ayatollah Beheshti and Ayatollah Qudusi, but the main manager was Ayatollah Qudusi, and Ayatollah Qudusi was also son-in-law of Allamah Tabataba'i. So he said, if you could please, write for us a textbook to use in madrasa. And he was, of course, very, very busy, but he used to send this, little by little. And I think the first person who was teaching was Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli, was teaching this in that madrasa. This is about 50 years ago. Yes. So then it became available for other people also to use. Then Allamah Tabataba'i also wrote Nihayatul Hikmah, which is more advanced than Bidayatul Hikmah. So before we start, I think we need to show our gratitude to Allamah Tabataba'i and all our scholars by reciting one Fatiha for them. We ask Allah to send His best salutations to all our ulama, and in particular to the ulama that we have benefited from their knowledge through their books, through their students, and to inshallah resurrect them with Muhammad and Ala Muhammad. This book, Bidayatul Hikmah, has 12 sections, and each section has different chapters. If you look at the table of the contents, just to give you an idea about what we are going to cover, first there is an introduction. Then the first section is في كليات مباحث الوجود, some general problem here in the sense of mas'ala, discussions about existence, about wujud. So some of the general properties of existence are discussed in the first section, and this has 12 chapters. Chapters, of course, here are small. The second section is about division of existence into Aini or Khariji on the one hand and Dhihni on the other hand. Wujud is either external, objective, or it is mental. The third is the division of wujud into what is existing in itself or what is existing in something else. The fourth is about al-mawad al-thalath. You remember we talked about wujub, imkan, and imtina. So issues about these three different types of relations in any proposition. The fifth is about mahiyya, quiddity, and its rulings or its properties. The sixth is about al-maqulat al-ashr, 10 categories, jawhar and 9 araz. The seventh is about illa and ma'lul, cause and effect. This is one of the most beneficial sections for illa wal ma'lul. Then eighth is about classification of being into one and multiple, wahid and kathir. Ninth is about a relation between different beings with respect which one exists first, which one comes later, and about eternity. The 10th is about potentiality and actuality, al-quwwa wal-fi'l, and here we have discussions about time, about change. 11th is about al-ilm wal-alim wal-ma'lum, one of the very useful discussions about knowledge, the knower, and what is known. And finally, the 12th is about wajibul wujud, about al-ilahiyat bil-ma'na al-akhas, theology, in its narrower sense. So about existence of God, how to prove existence of God, about attributes of God, about knowledge, power, life, will, and these things. And, Alhamdulillah, with the discussions we had in the previous book, Falsafiyya Muqaddamati, Introduction to Islamic Philosophy, based on Ayatollah Mutahhari's book, this must be very easy for you. Actually, some of the discussions there are more detailed than here. But even if someone has not studied that book, they can understand this book, and there should be no problem. But mubahisa is very much needed, and if you can also do a study in advance, pish mutalab, pre-study. Okay, let's start with introduction. مقدمة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مقدمة في تعريف هذا الفن وموضوعه وغايته. This introduction is about definition of this science and its subject matter and its end. You know that always whenever we enter into a new science, we study these things, and these are not part of that science. These are the things that we need to know before entering into that science. And these are what we call mabadi. These are prerequisites for entering into any discipline. Alhamdulillah wa lahu thana'u bihaqiqatih wassalatu wassalam ala rasulihi Muhammadin khayri khaliqatih wa alihi at-tahirin min ahli baytihi wa itratih. So we start with praising Allah and sending our salutations and greetings of peace to the Prophet, the best of people created by God, and his family who are pure. And after that, al-Hikmah al-Ilahiyyah, ilmun yubhathu fi an ahwal al-mawjud bima huwa mawjud. One of the characteristics of Islamic philosophy and many classic philosophies is that they give you a systematic approach to existence, We study the entire reality. Unfortunately, in modern philosophy, this holistic, systematic approach has gone into decline. And many philosophers, they never deal with the universe as a whole. They focus on some points, some pieces. But this is very much appreciated because this is the way that you can understand in a general way yourself and the world and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then you can focus on different aspects. You can have applied philosophy. You can have philosophy of mind. You can have philosophy of language, philosophy of logic, philosophy of mathematics, philosophy of science. You can have different parts. But first you have to master this general science of philosophy. So in Islamic philosophy, and some people call it theosophy, we are talking about wujud, the existence as such, or you can say mawjud bima huwa mawjud. We are talking about being as being. Why we emphasize on this to say we talk about wujud as such, or study wujud as such, or being as being? Because other sciences also talk about being, but they talk about a particular being. For example, we talk about numbers and digits in ilm al-hisab, in maths. Or we talk about, for example, human body in medicine, or from another aspect in physiology. Or we talk about, motion in physics and, properties of the physical objects. So all sciences that we normally have, they also talk about being, but they talk about a particular type of being. They have specific interest in some part of the creation or the whole universe. But in philosophy, we talk about being as such, whether it be being of wajibul wujud or being of contingent beings. All of them are important. So we want to understand what is being, what properties beings have, and how we can distinguish between something which is real and something which is not real. Because sometimes people believe in things which are not real. So you have to be able to distinguish. For example, people talk about luck, but there is no such a thing as luck. Or people, for example, sometimes believe in some imaginary beings. They don't have any reality. So we want to see what are the properties, what are the characteristics of being, and then we can distinguish being from illusion, from false beings. So al-Hikmatul Ilahiyyah ilmun yubhathu fih an ahwal al-mawjud bima huwa mawjud. This is a science in which the conditions, the properties of mawjud, means being, existent, as much as it is being, means insofar as it is being as such, is studied. وَمَوْضُوعُهَا. What is the subject matter? We said this many times in Usul al-Fiqh, in Mantiq, many places we said, the subject matter of every science is what that science talks about it. So if you put propositions of a science together, you would see all the propositions are about that subject matter or different types of that subject matter. For example, if in ilm al-nahv we talked about kalima with respect to its i'rab, yes, so all the propositions of Nahv are about kalima, either kalima in general or ism or fail or harf, which are different types of kalima. If we talk about kalima with respect to its formation, its sarf, morphology, and all the propositions of sarf are about kalima or its different parts, like ism or fail or harf. So, موضوع كل علم ما يبحث فيه عن عوارضه الذاتية. The subject matter of any science is what that science discusses and studies its characteristics, its properties, which are for it, not for something larger or more general. If you are talking about human beings, then those properties which are about human beings or narrower than human beings can be discussed. But if it is a property for animals, then that is for another science, not a science which is studying human beings. So, the subject matter for philosophy is al-mawjud bima huwa mawjud. Mawjud means being existent insofar as it is existent. Remember, whenever I say mawjud bima huwa mawjud means wujud as such. Mawjud bima huwa mawjud. Not mawjud bima huwa adad. Not mawjud bima huwa shakl. Not mawjud bima huwa jism. Not mawjud bima huwa insan. Mawjud bima huwa mawjud. Okay? What is the end, the purpose? Ghaya means the end, the purpose of philosophy. وغايتها معرفة الموجودات على وجه كلي. We want to understand beings, but in what sense? How do you want to understand beings? In a detailed way that you study in different sciences? No. In philosophy, we want to understand it in a very general way. Yeah? على وجه كلي. It's in a general way. وتمييزها. Knowing موجودات على وجه كلي وتمييزها مما ليس بموجود حقيقي. And we want to distinguish beings from those things which are not real beings. In this way, you can understand whether something really exists or not. توضیح ذلك. If you want to expand on this and explain this, we can say human beings find themselves as realities. Yeah? We have no doubt about our own existence. Also, we know that there are other things around. I have no doubt about you. I know that you are here. I don't know how many are listening, but inshallah everyone is listening. But at least I know you are here. Okay? This camera is here, this computer is here. We have no doubt about these things. So, no doubt about my existence, no doubt about your existence. Okay? And anything also that we aim, it's because it's real. Yeah? If you become thirsty and you go to take this bottle of water, it's because you believe that this is real water. You never go after something unless you are sure it is real. Yeah? You don't go after a false bottle of water. You go thinking that it is real. Even when we make mistake in finding out what is real. Otherwise, we don't go after something which is not real. Even a child, Allama says, even a child, if goes after something, for example, goes after food or goes, to take hand of his mother or her mother, it's because the child believes that this is real. So our interest is in reality. Okay? But sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we may think something which is real, not real. Or sometimes we may think something which is not, false. We may think it's false from both sides, For example, there are people who don't believe in God, while God is real, but they don't think God is real. So they miss some realities. And sometimes there are things which are not real and we think they are real. So it can be from both sides. And sometimes we remain in doubt. For example, some people have doubt whether we have such a thing as human soul or it's just our body. So philosophy helps us to distinguish between what is real and true and what is not real, what is false. So we need philosophy. توضيح ذلك أن الإنسان يجد من نفسه أن لنفسه حقيقة وواقعية. A human being finds in himself or herself that he or she has a reality. So we are sure about our own reality. وأن هناك حقيقة وواقعية وراء نفسه. Also, every human being realizes that there is some reality beyond himself or herself, outside. It's not only I exist. I know you also exist. Many things here exist. So this is the second point. The third, وَأَنَّ لَهُ أَنْ يُصِيبَهَا. Also, we find that we can reach those realities outside. We are not totally separated from each other so that we have no access to each other. I can come and talk to you. I can take this bottle of water. I can touch this, dress. So, أَنَّ لَهُ أَنْ يُصِيبَهَا. We can find and reach realities. فَلَا يَطْلُبُ شَيْئًا مِنَ الْأَشْيَاءِ وَلَا يَقْصِدُهُ. Human beings do not seek anything, do not go after anything, do not want anything إِلَّا مِنْ جَهَةِ أَنَّهُ هُوَ ذَلِكَ الشَّيْء فِي الْوَاقِعِ. Except because they think that is the real thing. If I go after water, it's because I think that's real water. If I go after, for example, I see a person in distance and I go, it's because I think this is a real person. Maybe I am mistaken, but what is important is my intention is a real person. I don't go after something which I know it's not real. Yeah, no one goes after something that knows it's not real. ولا يهرب من شيء ولا يندفع عنه إلا لكونه هو ذلك الشيء في الحقيقة. The same is with when you run away from something. You don't run away from something unless you think it's real. Yeah? So if you see, for example, a wolf is coming, you run away. But why you run away from the wolf? Because you think it's real. Yes? If you know that this wolf is not real, you don't run away. So whether you go for something or you run away from something, it's because you think that is real. Even a child is the same. فَالطِّفْلُ الَّذِي يَطْلُبُ الذَّرْعَ إِنَّمَا يَطْلُبُ مَا هُوَ بِحَسَبِ الْوَاقِعِ لَبَنٌ. Even a newborn baby which is fostered, if the baby looks for mother and wants to be fed, it's because it really wants milk and food. لما هو بحسب التوهم والحسبان. Not that something that is illusion. A child is not interested in, false milk. Wants real food and milk. الإنسان الذي يهرب من سبع إنما يهرب مما هو بحسب الواقع سبع. A person who runs away from a wild animal goes away from real wild animal. لا بحسب التوهم والخرافة. Not because of illusion or superstitious ideas. So our interest and our concern, our worry, all are about reality. لكنه ربما أخطأ في نظره. But sometimes people make mistakes. فرأى ما ليس بحق حقا واقعا في الخارج. Sometimes what is not real, they think it is real. كالبخت والغول. Bakht means luck, fortune. Okay? Ghul means like devil. Or people think there is, very strange, animals, or, that they are worried that they may attack. So sometimes what is not real, they think it is real. أو اعتقد ما هو حق واقع في الخارج باطلا خرافيا. Sometimes it's opposite. There is a reality, but they fail to recognize. كالنفس المجردة. Human soul, it's not material. In philosophy, we bring lots of arguments to prove that the human soul is immaterial. We had this before. Our knowledge, for example, shows that we are not physical object. But some people fail to recognize human soul as immaterial, independent reality from body. They think it's just human body. Or wal-aql al-mujarrad. Aql al-mujarrad, it's the type of substance which is fully actual. There is no potentiality. You remember we talked about uqul, Allamah uqul, which according to peripatetic philosophy is 10. According to Ash'ari is more. So those uqul, they don't believe in uqul. They don't believe in angels. They don't believe in human soul. So sometimes they fail to recognize and acknowledge something which is real because they think it is not real. And sometimes something is not real and they think it is real. فَمَسَّتِ الْحَاجَةِ. Massat al-haja, what does it mean? Massa yamussu means to touch. Massat al-haja means this haja, this need is touching us. Means that there is a great need. There is a great need for what? As soon as you look at this ba'da abadman, means quickly you realize that there is a need إلى معرفة أحوال الموجود بما هو موجود. To know what are the properties or characteristics of being as such or being as being. If you know what are the characteristics of a being, then when you don't find them, you say this is not real. And when you find them, you say this is real. أحوال الموجود بما هو موجود الخاصة به. Those characteristics which are only for wujud, exclusive to wujud. So that if they exist, it's wujud. If they don't exist, it's not wujud. ليميز بها ما هو موجود في الواقع مما ليس كذلك. So that we can distinguish by these properties and characteristics what is really existing and what is not. العلم الباحث عنها هو الحكمة الإلهية. The science, the discipline that studies these ahwal, these properties and characteristics which are exclusive to wujud, is al-Hikmatul Ilahiyya. It's divine theosophy or its philosophy. فالحكمة الإلهية هي العلم الباحث عن أحوال الموجود بما هو موجود. So, divine philosophy or theosophy is the science which studies characteristics of mawjud, being as such, or being insofar as it is being. Another name of this discipline or science is, in addition to al-Hikmatul Ilahiyya, it is also sometimes called al-Falsafatul Ula, the primary philosophy, because this is the foundation, this is the mother of all other sciences. Or al-Ilmul A'la, the highest science, the highest, because it's very, very general. وَمَوْضُوعُهُ, what is the subject matter? Al-Mawjud bima huwa mawjud. غايته, the end or purpose, تمييز الموجودات الحقيقية من غيرها, to distinguish those beings which are real from those things which are not real. ومعرفة العلل العالية للوجود, and knowing higher causes of existence, especially the last one, the highest one, the ultimate cause, the cause of the causes, the uncaused cause, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's not the only one, but especially that one is very important for us to know. So all the causes, especially the highest and the last one. معرفة العلل العالية للوجود, knowing high causes of existence, وبالأخص, in particular, العلة الأولى, the primary cause, the first one, التي إليها تنتهي سلسلة الموجودات. This chain of existence, hierarchy of existence, finally goes back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَأَسْمَاؤُهَا الْحُسْنَى, we want to know its names, beautiful names, وَصِفَاتُهَا الْعُلْيَا, and its high attributes. وَهُوَ اللَّهِ, so in philosophy we say wajibul wujud, but it is God. May His name be dignified and glorified. So this is muqaddimah, this is the introduction to the book. Inshallah, we have to now move on to the first section. So maybe I pause here and then we resume. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.